dear Rev and Lady Fisk. I am a new pastor's wife at a new parish, and my question is about developing a men's culture at church. I know. Well, the next line is, as a woman. So,
okay, well, let's keep going. Oh, no, you go ahead.
God bless you. Stop. I mean, there's an answer. Pray the Daughters of Wisdom Psalms. You're going to pray for a men's culture every day if you pray the Daughters of Wisdom Psalms. And then stop. Okay, I actually got more to say that's encouraging to you, but I want you to look at what you just said. Right? How can I as a woman lead the men? You can't. If you did, it would be bad. It will undo. The idea you're going to do it is going to undo it. Now, that said, hey, look, you find a guy at church who's like, I need some help. Give him a Sons of Solomon packet. Like, you can do that as a woman. It's okay. Hey, have you tried the Sons of Solomon? Like, you can do that. So I'm not saying don't do that. But I'm saying the question, how can I as a woman lead a new men's culture? You're going to ruin it if you take that approach. What can I do as a woman to encourage the formation of stronger men's camaraderie and internal and intentional ownership? You cannot be engaged in their camaraderie or ownership. You can get away. You can let them be men. You can stop trying to encourage them. You can lead the women instead, especially wherein they're always trying to tell the men what to do. You can start telling the women not to tell the men what to do. So lead the women, not the men. She says, the few young men who want to be involved are in choirs, which aren't singing anything to promote faith or brotherhood in an age of evil. You can talk to the choir director about the music. Or, since your husband's the pastor, maybe he should. I know there's a lot of times, though, where the politics of the scenario, I mean, you can't. You just kind of got to let it be. So you can pray, again, about this, right? I mean, if you can pray that God would put an end to the crazy animatronic chainsaw-wielding nonsense next door, then you can pray that he would send better music to the choir. That's okay. Ask. She says the middle-aged and older men are either on all their dispersed boards, which do at least have some sense of enjoying coming together based on the amount of time they spend in meetings, wink, wink, haha, or they are those who used to be on boards when the church was huge and are usually bemoaning the fact that this or that project wasn't done. That is, so all the men have been drawn into drudgery and needlessness and are feeling like they can't actually achieve anything. Well, that's the system. And yeah, break the system, pray for the system to break. That's its own issue. How can the attitudes and aptitudes of men as men be harnessed and encouraged by a woman? They can't. To come together to spur each other on to love and good works. So again, prayer. The only thing you got is to pray for it. The more you get involved, the less you're going to actually harness anything that's masculine. Oh, I lost the last line here. The ladies group is not very amenable to men. There's your war. Right there. Are you going to go to the ladies group and whenever they say something that's not amenable to men, it's like the derogatory, like call it out? Well, that's not the way a Christian woman talks. Oh, I'm going to sew some more. Just... Well, if it weren't an idol, I'm all for you ladies sewing. It's great. The ladies who sew, it's wonderful. It's when you're like proud and rude and pushy about it that it's a problem, right? So again, to be present among the ladies, and when they speak, when they gossip, to call it out and be like, oh, this is really not polite. We really shouldn't speak that way. And then just be okay with them being really uncomfortable and really upset because they've been pointed out that they're not perfect, right? Which is that gets back. We talked about this way earlier in the episode. Like, you're not allowed to be a sinner at our churches because we confess it every week, so you're not allowed to do it. So they're not amenable to men moving into pretty much anything unless they are husbands of dues-paying ladies. So only the husbands who are husbands of the LWML can be in leadership in the church. Like, this is what did Frisbee call it? A social club, yeah. So matrilineal social club is what you got going on here. What advice do you have for a woman seeking to encourage the culture of brotherhood? So start with the prayers. Start with the prayers. Start with the prayers. Get the younger women praying Daughters of Wisdom prayers with you. If you have the guts, not necessarily the wisest thing to do, but if you have the guts, when you hear godless things spoken by women about men, say, "Oh, that was godless," Or say, "Oh, that was rude." Oh, say, that seemed kind of proud. I wonder if we should maybe try to say that differently, and speak up among the women about being a godly woman, which is going to involve quietness, humility of spirit, right? Not getting what you want, but letting the men lead. Then perhaps the men can take ownership themselves. But you're not going to get, as the pastor's wife, newbie, signed, you're not going to get the men to take ownership. Your husband, however, he's the one who's got to lead the men. And he's got to lead the men to lead themselves, which is easier said than done, but it starts, again, with him just being a model of self-ownership and being willing to not back down when it comes to this is not the way men should be. Men should do this, men should do that. Happy wife, happy life. Well, not always.